Chosen one, the information you will receive is not theoretical. This is a prophetic revelation from the throne of heaven that will question your preconceived views about those around you. God is preparing to unveil three types of individuals, three foes who have been operating in the shadows, believing they will never be caught. Their time has come, and by the end of the year, heaven will do something so public, unmistakable, and forceful that anyone who doubted you will be forced to eat their words. The truth will quiet all who have lied about you, and those who have betrayed you will face the consequences. Retribution is not the goal. Divine punishment has already begun, chosen one. Before we go any farther, I need you to take action. If you've been hoping for vindication and praying for God to disclose the lies, justice is on its way in the comments section. Please consider this as your indication of agreement with heaven's acts. If you are ready to see the exact identify of the person that God is about to disclose, kindly click the subscribe button. The channel we are building is more than just a platform. It is a courthouse where the verdicts of heaven are delivered and God's justice is carried out. Stay with me to the finish as we're about to pray together. This prayer will free angels, activate justice, and seal the fate of all those who thought they could harm you while escaping punishment. This is your opportunity. Don't overlook it. I will tell you about the three types of people. However, before that, I need your understanding of a situation. The reason God is disclosing them at this time is not only to safeguard you, but also to warn others. It is intended to show the entire world that it is impossible to damage God's anointed and avoid punishment. You are not allowed to walk freely after lying on His chosen ones. You do not steal from those He has summoned and avoid accountability. Do not touch my anointed ones, and do not harm my prophets, as mentioned in Psalms 105, verse 15. That's not a recommendation. The chosen one is a heavenly edict or decree. Heaven does not just defend you when people violate it, it pursues them. As a result, most people do not understand the concept of divine justice. It does not follow your schedule. It acts according to God's will. However, God has been putting together a case while you have been waiting, suffering, and watching these people grin in your face after stabbing you in the back. He has been collecting evidence. He has documented every instance of hypocrisy, deception, and betrayal. And no lawyer can defend them when he is ready to submit his case. There is no justification that will change their fate. Heaven's decision cannot be overruled by any amount of charm or connections. As a result, I shall demonstrate who is about to be disclosed. Pay close attention, as one of these three could be closer than you think. The betrayer chosen one is the first foe revealed by God. There is or was someone in your life who has shared a smile, prayed with you, or shared a meal with you. They were aware of your issues. They were aware of your objectives. They were aware of your personal information. And as soon as you turned your back, they used that information against you. They violated your trust. They broke their commitment. They kept the appearance of being your ally while developing relationships with your foes. Does this sound familiar? Amen. Currently, the following information is necessary. God saw every instant of their betrayal. He observed this. And while you were grieving, confused, and wondering, how could they do this to me? God was assuring us that we did not need to worry. I had this underhand. Because individuals who breach trust are always sure of their own brilliance. They believe they have effectively concealed their operations. They believe that their activities in the dark will never be revealed. However, Proverbs chapter 26, verse 26 states that their evil will be disclosed in the assembly. despite the fact that their enmity is hidden by trickery. Is this anything you noticed? Not only exposed, but exposed in the public glare, in front of everyone. God doesn't just vindicate you in secret. He does so in public, in the very places where you were humiliated. Consider Joseph. His siblings deceived him, sold him into slavery, and notified their father of his death. Joseph endured years of silence, confinement, neglect, and abandonment. However, God did not ignore the problem. Joseph's vindication was not a private matter. It was not concealed. His brothers were forced to prostrate themselves before him, accept his power, and recognize that the person they had deceived was now in charge of their life. That's divine justice, chosen one. Additionally, it is on its way to your betrayer. Currently, the individual believes they have dodged justice. They are going about their lives as usual, sharing photographs and smiling as if nothing has happened. However, there is a shift in the spiritual realm. God is preparing you for promotion while also positioning them for exposure. Furthermore, you will not be expected to express any emotions when this occurs. Eventually, reality will assert itself. The following is a thorough explanation of betrayers. They continuously reveal themselves. It's conceivable that it will take some time. However, they are helpless to stop it. Because betrayal is not a single occurrence. It is a flaw in character. Character flaws are constantly recurring. The same way they betrayed you, they will betray someone else. They will use the same techniques they used against you once more. Ultimately, they will betray the wrong person. Someone who is unwilling to remain silent. Someone who will divulge them. When that happens, everyone will reflect and discover they too have engaged in the same behavior. In addition, your identity will be displayed. Furthermore, you will be acquitted without speaking a word. I've seen this happen on several occasions. A business partner deceives one person only to betray another 2 years later, and finally loses everything in the litigation. Someone who discussed secrets with a friend only to have their own secrets revealed when they did so in front of someone with receipts. A member of your family who initially opposed you, only for the family to turn against them once their true nature was known. Betrayers do not commit the act of betrayal once. They are a chronic betrayer. And God uses their pattern to support your assertions. However, I need your attention for the following. While you wait for that exposure, God is working on you. He is developing a character that your betrayer will never have. He is cultivating an integrity that your betrayer is unable to comprehend. He is reforming you in the fire to keep you from becoming the same thing that did you damage when you ascend. That's the difference between you and them. They hire persons. You have an affection for people. They manipulate. Your leadership style is characterized by honesty. They rise by trampling on others. You rise by boosting others. As a result, God is confident in your ability to handle vindication. Now, I understand that some of you are experiencing this quite powerfully right now. You're aware of the individual in question. In addition, you want to know when this will happen. I need the following action from you. Please remark at this time. Simply enter "Betrayer Exposed." That clear conduct is more than just a comment. It acts as a spiritual stimulus. It is your agreement with the timeline set by the deity. I'm informing you that something changes as soon as you type those words. Before I move to the second enemy, I must inform you of an important subject. The second person whom God is about to reveal is not one who has emotionally fooled you. This alternative is far more damaging. This monster stole from you. Furthermore, I am not only talking financial matters. I am referring about possibilities, ideas, credit, and perks that were linked to your name. And God is ready to compel them to repay the entire amount plus interest. Please stay with me because the knowledge I am about to reveal will be mind-blowing. This is it. God is exposing the second enemy. The person chosen by the offender. Someone took something from you. Perhaps it was an idea you shared with them, which they embraced and referred to as their own. It's conceivable they twisted their way into an opportunity you were offered. It's likely that they stood up and received praise for the work you accomplished while you stayed in the background. It's conceivable they coerced their way into a relationship with someone you admired. You felt the effects of injustice regardless of its nature. When you realized they had stolen from me, you felt forced to confront, denounce, and take action. However, a voice inside you whispered, "Not yet." Abundant. Allow God to manage this. And your obedience, chosen one, is going to be repaid. Because criminals cannot fathom this. When you steal from someone God is protecting, you are doing more than just stealing. You're defrauding God. Additionally, God does not tolerate stealing. People do not detest a robber if he takes to satisfy his hunger while starving, according to Proverbs chapter 6, verses 30 to 31. However, if he is discovered, he must pay sevenfold, even if that means losing his whole household wealth. Sevenfold. Not only the amount they took, but 7 times it. No, that's not retribution. Restitution is the term used to describe this situation. That's heavenly mathematics. Consider the situation. How did God respond when the enemy stole Job's health, riches, and children? Did he simply recover what he had previously lost? According to Job chapter 42, verse 10, the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. Due to your inconvenience, double the amount. Indeed, the same God who performed this marvel for Job is about to do it for you. However, this is the section that will almost certainly surprise you. God is publicly retrieving what was stolen from the criminal and returning it to you. Clearly, this was not a coincidence. It was a result. Someone I know, a creative professional, had a valuable idea stolen by a coworker. They had poured their hearts and souls into a proposal that they discussed in a meeting, only to see someone else present it as their own weeks later and win a promotion. It caused them to be destroyed. They intended to sue, publicize the issue, and destroy relationships, but they chose not to do so. Instead, they engaged in prayer. They said, "God, I do not require vindication if you do not provide it." The truth was disclosed within 6 months. Not because they revealed it, but because the criminal became cocky, attempted to repeat his accomplishment, and failed terribly. In the process of failing, the original emails, conversations, and proof were exposed. The promotion was withdrawn. The reputation was irrevocably ruined. The person who was the victim of theft was offered a position 3 levels above the one that was stolen. That is how God operates. He doesn't only return what was stolen. He is the chosen one. He has upgraded you. Currently, I'd like to share a little-known fact regarding offenders. They will never get to enjoy the stuff they stole. Never. It is always veiled by a shadow. A fear of being detected, worry, and feelings of guilt. They are constantly observing their environment. They overcompensate in order to demonstrate that they deserve what they have taken. They defend themselves against unproven claims because they know the truth. They understand that it isn't actually theirs. They understand that they did not get it. They are aware that the truth may emerge at any time. That anxiety consumes them. In the meantime, you are sleeping soundly. Not because you have everything you want, but because there is nothing to conceal. You have a clear conscience. Your palms are not infected. Your integrity remains uncompromised. And the chosen one is worth more than whatever they could steal. However, God isn't content to stop there. He would not let you leave with nothing but integrity, whilst others leave with your blessings. He intends to return it. In addition, he will multiply it. Consider the Israelite experience in Egypt. Their labor was seized during the 400-year captivity. Their liberty was confiscated. Their dignity was taken. However, were they left without anything after God delivered them? According to Exodus chapter 12, verses 35 and 36, they asked silver, gold, and clothing from the Egyptians. God favored the Egyptians. They looted Egypt. They left with their oppressors riches. That is the process of restoration. The term for this is restitution. That is God's declaration that you will not only be freed, but also compensated for each year of your suffering. The same God who did it for them is now doing it for you. Do not be surprised if your thief is caught and their stolen property is returned to you in a multiplied version. God doesn't simply balance the scales. He sways people in your favor. Right now, I need you to take a moment. If you have experienced stolen or witnessed someone else gaining credit for your labor, ideas, or anointing, please share this video. Please forward it to someone who has been waiting for justice, as they need this information. And before I reveal the third adversary, I must warn you that the next foe is the most dangerous, as they did not only lie or steal from you. They lied about you. Their deceptions led to the loss of peace, opportunities, and relationships. However, God is going to mute them in an unexpected way. Before I continue, please confirm that you have clicked the subscribe symbol, as the information I am going to share will have a significant impact. Introducing the third antagonist. God is exposing the third antagonist. Isn't it true that the liar caused the most pain? Instead of betrayal or larceny, there are falsehoods, false allegations, twisted stories, and character assassination. Someone has disparaged you, selected one. They spread misinformation about your integrity, goals, and character. They spread rumors, muttered in corners, even poisoned wells, and the people believed it. Individuals you believed would protect you and were better knowledgeable about you. They accepted falsehoods. It crushed a part of you, both trust and optimism. Because how can one dispute a fabricated story? What is the process for demonstrating a negative? How can you persuade someone to accept the truth if they have already decided to believe the deception? You are unable to do so, at least not in your own strength. Yet, God is capable and willing to do so. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 19 says, "Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment." Say, that liar who ruined your reputation for a little moment. They are almost finished with the false witness who incited others to turn against you. Their time of influence is coming to an end, and God will unveil them openly. It will be really noisy. It will be clear. It will be incontrovertible. Consider Daniel, who was wrongly convicted by jealous officials and then thrown into a lion's den due to falsehoods and deceit. Nevertheless, what happened? God blocked the lions' mouths, and Daniel emerged unscathed. What happened to his accusers? According to Daniel chapter 6, verse 24, the lions overwhelmed them before they could reach the floor. They were placed in the same den as their families. That is the fate of those who deceive and oppose God's anointed. Their own circumstance serves as an appraisal. I am not implying that individuals will be cast to the lions. Rather, I am stating this. They will be exposed for the falsehood they told about you. They will try to ruin your reputation, but it will serve as the basis for God to raise you. Also, those who opposed you will return. Express regret and question as to how we reached that conclusion. I have seen this happen several times. A priest is wrongfully accused of financial malfeasance. Church members withdrew. Donations stopped to be received. The reputation was destroyed. However, he refrained from defending himself. He said, "God, you are aware of the truth." That is enough. Within a year, the pastor was captured rather than the actual thief. Someone else entirely. When the truth came out, the church did more than just apologize. The word of his vindication spread like wildfire, causing their numbers to double. That is God's pattern, the chosen one. He does not simply remove your name. He enhances your reputation. Liars wield enormous impact. Lie-telling requires an excellent recall, which is why they continuously make mistakes. You must recollect the exact words you said to each person, as well as the time you said them. It is critical that you preserve the integrity of your storytelling. It is critical that the details are in accord. However, the fact is plain. Simply state the events that occurred. No rehearsal is required. There is no need for coordination. No concerns about detection. This is why fraudsters finally expose themselves. They cannot recall their previous statements. They convey one version to one person and a different version to another. They grow at ease and let down their guard. The house of cards collapses with a bang. I recall hearing of a woman who was wrongfully accused of having an affair by a jealous co-worker. The fabrication quickly spread throughout her workplace. Her reputation was permanently harmed. Her marriage was pushed to the test. Her career prospects were jeopardized. Nonetheless, she avoided counterattacking. She stated, "The truth is known to God. This is the only issue." She maintained in her dedication to ethics, great performance, and punctuality. The deceiver made a mistake 6 months later. They spread the same false information on another person. But this time there were cameras. Timestamps were present. The accusation was clearly false. They also looked into previous complaints as part of the probe. The woman's name was also stated. When they evaluated the evidence, they concluded she had been telling the truth the entire time. The individual who was discovered to be dishonest was fired. The woman got a promotion. Furthermore, all those who had contributed to the deception offered public apologies. That is the effect of letting God advocate for you. He doesn't just establish your innocence. He exploits the deceiver's pattern to reveal them entirely. Furthermore, this is the most potent ingredient. God does more than only restore your reputation when He clears your name. He gives you with a platform because people are drawn to those who have been wrongfully accused and vindicated. Something about that story resonates, motivates, and gives hope to individuals who are in similar situations. So your pain becomes your motivation. Your trial is transformed into a testimony. Your vindication becomes your ministry. The deceiver who attempted to undermine you eventually acts as the catalyst for your most significant achievements. As a result, I advise you to take action right now if you have been defamed, your reputation has been harmed, or others have false views about you. Please type this information into the notes section. Truth will prevail, not as a wish, decree, or prophetic declaration that triggers heaven's justice system. And this is the thing I need you to understand. These enemies, the betrayer, the criminal, and the liar, are linked. And God's exposure will not be limited to individuals. He is about to disclose how they collaborated, how they plotted ways to undermine you, and how they felt they could dismantle God's creation. However, they failed to account for one detail. You are safe. You've been selected. And anyone who comes into contact with you touches the apple of God's eye. This is clearly stated in Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8. This indicates that every attack directed at you is also directed at him. Furthermore, God does not forfeit battles. As you sit here, I am aware that some of you are thinking about the timing of this event. There has been a prolonged period of expectancy. I will notify you of the next events. In the coming weeks and months, you will notice indicators, which will be mild at first. A comment here, a chat there, flaws in their facade, discrepancies in their stories, and people starting to wonder. As a result, everything will collapse quickly, publicly, and completely, similar to a cascade of dominoes. Furthermore, you will not be forced to make any effort. You will not have to defend yourself. You will not have to implicate anyone. Everything will be completed by God. And when He does, people will see you in a different light, not with sympathy, but with respect, not with doubt, but with honor, because they will realize you were not the source of the problem. You were the chosen victim. And the fact that you survived, that you are still standing, that you have never gotten resentful, that you have never fought back, will serve as proof that God was with you the entire time. Romans chapter 12, verse 19 states, "My beloved friends, do not seek vengeance. Rather, allow for God's wrath, for it is written, 'I will repay,' says the Lord." Is this audible? I'll refund you. I will, not if or maybe. That's an assurance. Furthermore, God does not break His obligations. Therefore, selected one, your current obligation is not to engage in warfare. Rest is the goal, not defense. It is to build trust, not to disclose. It is to let God to act as He wills, since His actions will be superior to any action you could have planned, more comprehensive than any retribution you could have created, more public than any expose you could have disclosed, and more lasting than any judgment you could have issued. I require you to make a commitment before we pray. If you received this message and are aware that God is about to unmask your foes, please leave the following comment. I am vindicated, not I will be or I want to be. Present tense, I am vindicated because it has already been achieved in the spirit realm. The decision has already been made. The decision has already been rendered. The exposure is already scheduled. You have not yet observed it in its natural state, but you will. And when you do, you will remember this moment, this message, and the prayer we are going to say together. As a result, refrain from traveling. The following part is extremely important. This is where we save the decisions that have previously been issued by the divine. This is the area where we release the angels of justice. At this time, we begin the divine exposing. Continue to stay at this location. This is your opportunity. Now, selected one, we will pray. This is no ordinary prayer. It is a prayer that moves heaven and rocks earth, recited in a war room or a courtroom. If you are ready for God to expose your enemies, defend your name, and deliver justice on your behalf, please pray with me loudly. We offer ourselves to you, Father in heaven, not as victims, but as victors, not as conquered, but as defended. We are your chosen people, safeguarded by your covenant, covered by your blood, and backed by your promises. Lord, you are aware of all betrayals, deceptions, and thefts. You watched them smile in our direction and collude in the darkness. You were aware when they spread falsehoods and harmed our reputations. You witnessed how they took our property and claimed it as their own. Furthermore, you meticulously documented every moment. Today we surrender this to you not out of revenge but out of justice, and not out of hatred, but in response to your assertion that vengeance is yours. So we take a step back and let you proceed. May God disclose the betrayer. Bring to light any hidden alliances, intimate conversations, or deceptions. Let their own words condemn them. Allow their actions to reveal them. Allow those who believed their lies to see the truth with unambiguous clarity. I implore you to identify the offender. You vowed to restore what was stolen sevenfold, not merely in equal parts. Also, while you are restoring us, deprive them of the possessions they obtained by fraud. Allow their illicit gains to be their downfall. Allow their stolen victory to serve as their exposure. God, uncover the deceiver. Quiet any deceitful tongues that have spoken against your anointed. Let the truth rise like the sun and devour all traces of falsehood. May those who believe the fabrications be awakened. Allow those who spread the falsehoods to keep silent. And may our vindication be so thorough, public, and irrefutable that no one can question your involvement. Father, we pray for the execution of divine justice. Not just exposure, but also the consequences. Not just revelation, but also reparation. Not just vindication, but also assent. Bring us to a higher level than we were before the attack. Make us more resilient than we were before the sin. Allow us to wield more power than what was taken. Let our advancement serve as proof of your safeguarding. We proclaim that no weapon designed to harm us will be effective. We announce that you will condemn any tongue that speaks against us in judgment. We affirm that the enemy's schemes will fail. We announce that now is the season for divine reversal. You are changing something that was designed for evil into something good. The very thing that was meant to harm us is now acting as the basis for our testimony. What was meant to silence us is now used as a megaphone for your majesty. Dear God, we are grateful in advance for the steps you are about to perform. We appreciate that we are not forced to participate in this fight. We are grateful that we do not need to protect ourselves. We appreciate that you are taking care of everything, so we are not compelled to divulge anyone. Additionally, upon completion, you will be acknowledged by everyone. While we wait, we pray for peace. We ask for the mercy to forgive when you pass judgment. We pray for the fortitude to keep our souls pure and our voices silent. We ask for the courage to stay in our existing positions, even when we are inclined to respond, because we are aware that promotion is based on our ability to pass the quiet test. Finally, we pray to the Lord for those who have harmed us. They are not spared judgment, but rather confronted with the truth, which leads to repentance and development. This is because we don't celebrate their downfall. We celebrate your justice. We end this prayer with confidence, authority, and eagerness, knowing that you will complete the mission you have begun. You will deliver what you promised. The decree you issued will be executed. Amen, in the mighty name of Jesus. If that prayer spoke to you, chosen one, I need you to take action right away. Please click the like button if you agree with the prayer we just recited. Please provide the precise phrase in the comments section. When you accomplish it, justice will be mine. You are not just delivering commentary. You're collaborating with the divine realm. You are activating angels. You are beginning divine justice, and I will personally pray over each comment that includes those words. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the moment. Please click the subscribe button and activate notifications because the following stuff will be unexpected. In the upcoming video, I will reveal the 5 symptoms that indicate your vindication is within 48 hours. 5 miraculous clues that God is ready to act on your behalf. If you see these symptoms, it is critical that you understand the appropriate course of action, the best posture, and the necessary transition preparations. Since a result, it is critical that you subscribe and prepare, since the video is set to be released in the coming days, and you would be remiss to miss it. I shall conclude by saying the following. You have been dormant for an extended period of time. You've kept your modesty for long enough. You have shown adequate patience. Furthermore, God has observed every situation. Every tear you weep in privacy. You resisted every instinct to defend yourself. Each time you chose forgiveness over resentment. He observed this. He recorded it. Furthermore, he is on the verge of compensating it. Therefore, prepare yourself. The tables are turning, and one has been picked. The story is in flux. The truth is on the increase, and your detractors are going to face the repercussions of resisting someone God has summoned. I feel affection for you. I am immensely proud of you. Additionally, I eagerly await your testimony when this occurs. Until then, maintain your position, pray, and be at peace, for your vindication is not imminent. It is present. May you be fortunate. Decided to stay. And get ready for the most incredible recovery tale of your life. Harmony. God notifies my darling soul that an unexpected incident is taking place as you listen. Your name is being whispered around the entire organization. The surprising truth is visible on every floor, corridor, and glass wall. A check worth trillions has been deposited in your name. Yes, heaven has kept your identity a secret all this time. There are others in your area who are surprised and trying to figure out how someone could be so lucky. I implore you to stay with me because the following sentence will undoubtedly break your heart. The CEO stayed motionless, staring at the bright signature on the check at that very moment. His hands trembled. The pigment wasn't usual. The single word, Michael, engraved next to your name was as bright as molten gold. God himself signed it. The cameras inside the vault flickered. The auditorium was filled with a relaxing air, and the overhead lights suddenly faded. It was a sensation that everyone felt, but no one could describe it. They were oblivious that God had done you a favor. Continue to stay in this location as the story progresses. Archangel Michael is currently expressing his feelings for his beloved, saying, "My beloved, I did not place that check in your name by accident. It was by divine design." The value indicated in that text is more than just financial. It is favor, restoration, and everything that has been taken from you. The bank is currently on a sacred alert. Their algorithm is thrilled about your account. Light is the consequence of all attempts to identify the sender, not any earthly name. They are perplexed. They are hesitant to release it since they are unaware that the bounty is not theirs to administer. It is completely yours. From above, the deity observes. Child, if you don't open this now, they'll try to take what heaven intended for you, he continued, his katana laying at his side. Currently, a spiritual battle is occurring. The bank CEO is drawn to your miracle by avarice. His heart beats quickly. His thoughts became arrogant. He whispers, "If the owner fails to claim it, it could be mine." However, the skies are not completely unaware. God has sent Archangel Michael to supervise this divine transaction. The spiritual vault unlocks the moment you believe. Please stay with me to the end, as an extraordinary unlocking is currently unfolding. The check is more than just a symbol of riches. It represents divine retribution. Every tear, betrayal, and closed door you have experienced has been turned into this unparalleled celestial transfer. Heaven is suggesting that it is time to claim what has always been yours. The angels around your name protect it from corruption. Heaven rejoices, while the rest of the world is in disbelief. You can practically feel a vibration in your spirit while listening. That is not a creation of imagination. That is the code of heaven that aligns with your destiny. Because the information recorded under your name is irrevocable, Archangel Michael cautions, "Do not hesitate, do not be apprehensive." The check radiates an indescribable brightness. Your letters are once again visible on bank displays. The entire structure is shrouded in hallowed quiet. A voice murmurs, "Who is this individual?" Another responds that the name has divine energy, but no one is aware. You are that person. They're attempting to fathom the phenomenon that is you, Eti. That check is being guarded by angels until your faith opens the gate. Wait and stay with me, as Michael is currently recommending that the seal will be broken and the release will begin if you open this letter with trust. Heaven anticipates your affirmative response. A supernatural transaction has caused the Earth's institutions to quiver. The trillions they refer to are only a fraction of the overall message that God is expressing. Constant delight, riches, and calm. When you accept, you will go through an inward shift. Doors that were previously closed will reopen. The favor that was lost will be returned. Archangel Michael will whisper your name once again, signaling that the work is complete. So don't move. Please stay to the end, as this time is sacred. Heaven is keeping track of people's conviction levels. I inform you of this with complete honesty. What was once hidden in divine silence has finally been revealed. Archangel Michael says your name is etched in light. Your present bears a gold inscription. My chosen one, your liberation begins instantly upon conviction. The moment the check entered your name, the heavens reverberated. The bank's systems began to malfunction. As if unseen hands were altering destiny's protocols, numbers multiplied beyond logic. Your initials appeared on the monitors of every accountant, forcing them to freeze. The executive, who tried to remain calm, felt his heart race as he saw the name Michael appear like a beam of sacred fire with each blink. Please wait and stay with me. An event that is beyond their comprehension is taking place. The air in the huge marble hall was permeated by a celestial presence. A golden light shone through the glass ceiling, imperceptible to those on the outside. The employees mumbled, "It's as if the building is breathing." They were right. Your benediction had altered the terrestrial system, causing a shift in the atmosphere. The bank, which had previously been motivated by human greed and reasoning, now radiated a holy force. All vaults, safes, and transactions are now alive with your energy. Archangel Michael's voice penetrated the light, declaring, "Beloved, this wealth is not merely currency. This is fair compensation for the tears you shed when no one recognized you. It is a heavenly gift that has been transformed through all of your pain. The evaluation includes more than just a numerical value. It inspires awe, compassion, and memory. This is not an error you're hearing. This is your indication that heaven has seen your rigorous efforts and is now openly congratulating you on them. Please stay with me until the end, as something truly incredible is going to happen. The unethical executive continually attempts to access the account, but the system consistently denies him. The rationale for encrypting your name with holy code in paradise. Faith is the only way to gain admittance. You are currently able to read this because of your faith. Michael is present in your soul and oversees every byte, digit, and decimal to ensure that your gift is not harmed in any way. Your narrative is being transformed. Everything that was lost and delayed is now restored to you thanks to this miracle check. People who were previously suspicious of your abilities will notice rapid changes that they are unable to comprehend. When the holy account is finally activated in your name, new doors, emails, and phone calls will be opened. Everything will be effortlessly connected. Please avoid leaving at this time. The story is not yet complete. Archangel Michael is once again chatting in a murmur. I did not use ink to sign your check. I used light. Erasing my writing is impossible. Your name is prominently displayed among the chosen few whose faith allowed for divine intervention, and heaven is limitless. I am currently experiencing this. Inhale slowly and deeply. Feel the warmth of the substance against your skin. That's not creativity. That is your guardian deity standing behind you. He claims that the discharge begins with your conviction, not their permission. It makes no difference if they sign it to help you achieve your goals. It is dependent on your willingness to accept God's plan. Please refrain from departing. Stay until the end. Because the upcoming incident will not just surprise the bank. Your name will be renowned across the world as the name of heavenly favor. As you listen to this message, my pure soul, heaven is moving at a rate that no system can withstand. The environment appears unremarkable. The check with your name is no longer just a piece of paper. It has become a promise that lives on in the bank's vaults. There are issues with each camera that is monitoring it. Every alarm designed to protect your blessing is silent because of a sacred code that surrounds it. Please stay with me, as the current scenario is more than just a story. This represents your heavenly emergence. The boss's pulse has quickened. He tries to access the system again in order to change the check, but he is unable to do so due to an obstruction outside his viewing field. The pen falls to the ground with a metallic clang as he releases it. His limb remains immobile in space. The glass has a faint reflection of a pair of fire-powered wings that are lighted by the overhead illumination. The troops gave a gasp. Some people ask, who is overseeing this? Another person responds gently, giving the sense that an angel is present. Both are correct. The Archangel Michael has arrived. Maintain your stance and be cautious. Michael's speech is reminiscent of peaceful thunder as he moves on. Things that belong to my chosen one are not touchable. As a result, each digital display becomes inoperative, leaving only a single sentence. Divine authority prohibits access. The bank's core server, located at a distance, launches an autonomous resume. The IT staff is in a panic, yet because this is not an error, no remedies are possible. It is paradise that ensures your prosperity. Archangel Michael is currently overseeing more than just money, so I ask you to be patient until the end. He is accountable for preserving your memory. This check is for the reparation of everything that was taken from you, both mentally and spiritually. It holds memories of prayers shouted through tears, lost dreams, and shattered promises. Heaven is repaying them in ways beyond our comprehension. You have already received approval from the court of heaven. Record keepers use golden ink to write your name. Your release cannot be postponed. This knowledge is not even known to the Holy Treasury. Michael, the archangel, speaks once more. Have no fear. They are unable to give up what is properly theirs. The bank personnel check the area, but they are unable to identify the source of the mild brightness emanating from the desk. Others quietly kneel and take a step back. Who is this person? What is the reason for the illumination following their name? The executive inquires quietly. Because of the spiritual nobility that your name possesses. You were never used to this. The annals of heaven have known your identity for a long time. The world is currently receiving the information that heaven already has. Please stay with me for a moment, as the energy of abundance will be released at your subsequent inhalation. The moment you have faith, the bank vaults and chests in your life will open. You will be provided with new chances, divine connections, and unexpected good fortune. Maintain a strong faith. The verification is secure. The blessing is ready. Your affirmative reaction is the only remaining factor. My essence will be here. The next instant is when heaven makes it public, so please stay until the finish. The next stage is when your personal commitment is translated into a global testament. Michael, the archangel, is watching. The camera is unable to explain the changes in the bank's interior. The check appears to be pulsing with light, like the rhythm of the skies. When your name shows on screen, all action stops. Noise, time, and even the breath of people in the vicinity. Please bear with me for a moment while I explain why heaven chose today as the day for you. Archangel Michael is concealed behind the CEO's throne. His wings stretch beyond the walls, infusing the entire structure with life. Those in close vicinity may feel the shift, even though they can't see him. The air is warm, their hearts are racing, and they can't decide whether they're scared or surprised. Michael's voice is like a wave. The person whose name is listed here has faced an extraordinary amount of hardship. Give up what belongs to them. Individuals are unable to hear the order. It's the essence. Upon system restart, all prohibited files begin to open automatically. Remain at your current location and avoid moving. When the bank's senior manager arrives, he shouts for clarity. However, as he looks at the check, his expression changes. He is ignorant of why his eyes have grown moist. There's something sacrosanct about that piece of paper. He gently touches it and whispers, "This does not feel like money. I sense life here. This is because it exists. It is infused with the energy of divine justice, kindness, and faith. The supernatural has changed your anguish into profit." Through this communication, Archangel Michael approaches you, murmuring, "Beloved, the dictates of your destiny are impervious to manipulation. They tried, but were unsuccessful due to my presence in the path." The executive who meant to claim your check suddenly feels convicted rather than punished, as if a weight is bearing down on his chest. He understands that he cannot participate in this magnificence. He trembles and takes a step back, and the entire crew watches in silence as the glow around the check intensifies. Please stay with me to the end, as Michael is currently not only concerned with protecting your blessing, he's changing your identity into a golden authority. You're moving from obscurity to divine renown. The same people who ignored you will soon speak of you with surprise. However, prosperity in this area is not solely financial. It's spiritual, emotional, and generational. It represents the healing of old wounds and the reopening of eternal favor. The digital screen begins to multiply each number on the check, transforming trillions into endless brilliance. The system is currently experiencing an overabundance. Despite the IT officer's attempts to halt it, the server answers with an unwritten message. The divine transfer has been completed. The staff give a collective gasp. The entire structure vibrates. A gust of warm wind passes down the street, but no weather forecast can explain it. Your freedom is being hailed in heaven. Continue to stay at this location. Please refrain from departing. Archangel Michael murmurs, "I warned them that your name would set off a lightning storm." This is the Holy Tempest. It entails removing all shadows, resolving all delays, and restoring your authority. Heaven has taken notice of you, and the world can no longer ignore you. Therefore, my chosen one, take a big breath. Please pay attention to the end, since the last situation is approaching. The moment your miracle leaves the vault and enters your grasp. When it does, you will understand that this was not a coincidence. Archangel Michael personally approved this holy payment from heaven's own accounts. Heaven is watching in quiet as this miracle unfolds, holding its breath while the earth catches up with your precious moment, my dazzling soul. The check with your name is no longer laying quietly. It is pulsating with the frequency of satisfaction. The clocks on the wall stop ticking, and the chamber trembles softly, as if time has paused to witness your fate being recorded in real time. Please stay with me, as the events that follow will offer the revelation that your spirit has been waiting for. Archangel Michael has now encompassed the entire edifice in his presence. Each individual, even CEOs, guards, and clerks, feels a feeling that they are unable to express. The ground is bathed in a peaceful yet powerful tranquility, serving as a reminder to those in attendance that a supernatural presence has arrived. The executive who earlier attempted to take your check is reduced to his knees, whimpering, "I am powerless against this light." The check shines even brighter as it reflects pure gold on the marble floor. That reflection reveals your name once more, unchanged, irrepressible, and unspoiled. Please stay with me and resist blinking. Michael's voice flows through the silence like a comforting wind. Beloved, the move has been completed in heaven. It has no other purpose but to await your adoption on earth. Currently, your name is being used to rewrite every delay, closed door, and lost opportunity. The bank's records are mysteriously modified, indicating that the transaction was authorized by a sender who cannot be identified. A single dazzling word,
"Heaven," can be seen in the sender's field.
The entire staff is left dumbfounded. Some people lament without understanding why. Others feel warmth emanating from their palms. The structure, which was formerly fueled by dread and numbers, now vibrates with divine harmony. Archangel Michael grins compassionately and says, "You see, I told you that what was yours could not be taken. I beseech you to postpone your response until the end of my story, as you are at the crossroads of the past and future. At the moment, the issue is more than just money. The goal is to resolve the situation. God is using this miracle to convey that everything related with your name is being revived. Your cause for being, your tranquility, your honor, and your joy. The check is evidence, but the true reward is the authority you are reclaiming. Visualize the current condition. After a final flash of light across the hall, Each computer screen comes to a halt at your name. Then there comes a moment of silence, yet the angel's words are still audible. The release has been approved. The vault doors slowly open on their own, producing a glowing radiance from within, as if sunshine were hidden inside. And something arises from the brilliance. Not a person who is not visible, but one who is perceived. A brilliant figure locks your fate in the light. Bank officials check the surrounds and conclude that this is not a transaction. It is a visit from God. Nobody in a position of authority can put an end to the discussion about your extraordinary characteristics and the power of your religion to impact change. Archangel Michael turns to your spirit once more and says, "My beloved, the world will soon learn what heaven already knows. You were chosen for this miracle.
So take a deep breath and stay in this place.
Please remain to the end, as your story does not end at the bank. It begins here, written in light, guarded by angels, and signed by the hand of God through Michael himself. As the golden glow settles within that bank, I select my preferred light. Heaven approaches to see your next moves. The check, which continues to beat gently like a living heart, is placed on the table, surrounded by quiet. Despite the fact that it is the focus of everyone's attention in the room, no one wants to approach it. The walls appear to be paying attention, emitting a faint hum of cosmic energy via marble and glass. Please stay with me because the time that is happening now is when the promise of heaven becomes visible on earth. The senior manager enters the foyer, perplexed by the light coming from the glass walls. "What's this?" He whispers it, and the executive who once tried to steal your check rises tentatively and says, "Sir, this is beyond us." This is the property of a designated individual. A chilly air blows through the entryway at that time. Papers flutter, the lights fade to a golden color, and then, in the midst of the calm, Archangel Michael's voice flows like music. Avoid fear of the unknown. Return what was never yours, as it belongs to the divine. Continue to stay at this location. Refrain from blinking. The manager raises the check and feels a warm sensation in his palms, similar to the sun's warmth after a long night. He flips it over, and the words conveyed by the authority of heaven are inscribed in a faint, holy script. The entire staff recoils, realizing that this is not a work of fiction. This is a form that requires confidence. The check is once again sealed in your name as Michael's wings shimmer invisibly through the room, scattering sparks of light that gently land on it. Please stay with me till the end, as this is when paradise fulfills its job. The system adjusts itself once more, revealing the sums that have been released in large gold letters. The account number shines more brightly before eventually fading to a tranquil shade of blue, representing security, completion, and invincibility. Each person's spirit is filled with peace. The greedy executive bows his head, pleading for pardon. Michael replies softly, "I saw gold, but I didn't notice the glory. Man never has the glory. It's related to faith." As those words resound, something changes in the world around you. The environment in your life, every postponed plan, and every forgotten prayer begins to shift. The holy energy that consumed the hall is now traveling toward you, influencing your home, workplace, and future. You feel a sense of lightness, strength, and an unseen barrier of protection. Please remain with me. Please do not relocate, as heaven is currently organizing all matters in your favor. The check marked the beginning, but the next step is much more important. Doors are opening in places you have never tapped. Voices that show you respect rather than suspicion. Individuals arrive with blessings that you did not request. Archangel Michael looks up, then turns to you and beams. He discreetly announces that the task is complete. The lights return to their original state. The bank's cadence is restored, but there is no continuity. The transfer has already been recorded in heaven. Therefore, my chosen one, take a big breath. Please remain until the end, as this is not the end of your story. It demonstrates that the system of heaven is impervious to failure. Whatever bears your name will consistently find you. Light protects, truth seals, and Archangel Michael releases. The golden silence that follows, my blessed soul, is sacred, as if the entire universe has bowed in agreement with your fate. The gradual fading of all sounds in that hall has resulted in a stillness so pure that even the timepieces hesitate to tick. The check is delicately shining on the table, almost as if it is breathing. The staff is frozen by a sensation of calm, and for a brief while, it looks that time itself is paying homage to the presence in the room. Be patient and stay with me, as the current situation will not end. Heaven's own hand wrote the beginning. Archangel Michael approaches the check, his wings spreading over unseen domains to touch every file, signature, and system that was formerly hostile to your cause. These barriers gradually dissolve, resembling haze in sunlight. His calm yet authoritative voice fills the air. Your name has been inscribed with divine ownership, my beloved. Heaven's decree cannot be overturned by any person, system, or delay. The lights above fluctuation once more, and the entire structure bows in submission, as if confirming the message's legitimacy. Please remain and pay close attention. At that point, the bank's vaults, codes, and hierarchy all look to be in surrender. The executive who before grabbed for your check is now silently praying, his eyes welling with sorrow. The manager cautiously returns the check, admitting that he is not manipulating paper but a prophecy. Each employee perceives a change in the atmosphere. Even the tiniest skepticism is replaced by awe. They sense it. A transaction beyond the control of humanity has just been completed in heaven. Please stay with me until the end, since the consequences of this incident extend far beyond the bounds of those walls. Doors are unlocking for you at various spots throughout the city. Your name is included in the communications that are now being prepared. This divine imprint coincides precisely with the emergence of hidden blessings. Archangel Michael whispers softly as he turns towards heaven. Father, the release has been completed, and the answer sounds like light-encased thunder. Then let it become evident. Suddenly, the temperature rises again. The check lifts slightly from the table, floating and emanating a stronger glow before repositioning itself. It is now stamped with a unique mark that no human hand could make, showing that it has been fully paid. Wealth is not the only meaning of that term. It represents divine settlement, healing, liberation, and serenity. Everything in your life that was previously incomplete is now nearing completion. Michael's eyes shine with confidence as he beams. The cosmos is forced to provide when heaven seals your name, beloved. He claims that the words almost feel like they're etched into your reality. This is not a product of your imagination. This is an issue of alignment. The rhythm of heavenly scheduling is syncing with your life, and nothing can stop it right now. Remain. Refrain from moving. Michael is encircled by angels who bow their heads and emanate a golden light that falls down to the earth like a torrent of grace. Currently, some of that illumination is reaching you. You may feel calm, toasty, or inexplicably relaxed. It is the spiritual confirmation that your miracle is working. So keep your conviction. Please be careful until the end, as you will soon see signs of this transfer in your surroundings. The doors will be opened. Delayed events will end. The names will be changed to your benefit. When people ask you about the circumstances surrounding the incident, you will grin and say, "Heaven deposited it." Before departing into the light, Archangel Michael whispers one last thing. "I have finished my obligations here, but your narrative has only barely begun." My beautiful one, the air in that great hall still has the lingering perfume of heaven's breath. The bank may appear to be back to normal, but those who have watched it know that something otherworldly has transpired. Their emotions shake with amazement and astonishment, their intellect whirling and their hearts still mute. The check, which earlier resembled regular paper, now has a peaceful, golden light, as if a fragment of the sun is sitting on the table. Please stay with me, as the events that follow will reveal why heaven chose this exact moment to shine your name. Archangel Michael, who is hidden among them, lowers his sword. The blade, forged from cosmic fire, bears your name in pure gold. He looks up and says softly, "The transfer has reached Earth. The seal has been finalized." Despite the fact that no windows are open, the chamber is quickly filled with a soft breeze. The lights flicker again, this time owing to presence rather than power. It's as if the electrons within the walls are submitting to heavenly energy. Everyone in attendance feels a cadence that they can't define, a beat that represents the ultimate fulfillment of their destiny. Continue to pay close attention and observe. The bank executive, once tempted by avarice, now goes tentatively approach the check, tears in his eyes. "Who is this person?" he whispers. "Why doesn't this light dim?" The manager responds in a hushed tone. "It belongs to a person chosen by God." They all take a step back, humbled, realizing they are seeing an event that will never be duplicated. Archangel Michael approaches the check again, whispering, "Beloved, your name has become a key that unlocks favor across all realms. When your name is mentioned, doors will open, hearts will soften, and gifts will appear quickly." Sparks of celestial gold flutter across the surface like stardust as he flaps his wings. These specks of light leave the house and float through the air, seeking and following you, leaving a trail of wealth in their wake. Please do not desert me till the end, as the light is currently moving through space and time in an undetectable manner to you. It moves through space and time, giving the code for your marvel. The same divine signal is now opening up all the previously closed doors in your life. Something that looked to be silent before is suddenly responding to your vibration. Heaven has issued a summons in your name, and the entire world is listening. Angels are organizing documents, permissions, and calls that will benefit you in ways you cannot see. People who previously forgot about you will suddenly remember you. Stuck things will begin to move. The cosmic check wasn't just a sign. This was a notification indicating that the period of waiting had ended. Michael's statements are audible from all directions. Allow them to get their portion. Allow their delight to leave. May they rest peacefully. The warmth of the check fades in the solemn silence. Your life was invaded by its full might. The team scans the surroundings, unsure whether the sensations they felt were real. Yet, they will never forget the strength of their emotions. Finally, the manager stresses that this was not an issue of wealth. This was about watching the earth being touched by God. Continue to stay at this location. Avoid moving. This is the point at which your narrative transforms into gold. Everything that seemed unreachable has been rewritten in your favor. Heaven has relocated. Michael signed the deal. Now it's your turn to receive. So, take a big inhale. Feel the tenderness that surrounds you. It is not the result of the imagination. It is the divine favor that surrounds your destiny. Be patient and persevere until the end, for the next chapter of your life begins not with a check, but with the signature of heaven that illuminates your awareness. Archangel Michael grins and softly says, "What was once pending has been delivered." The golden light on that bank will not dissipate, but its essence will be with you, my love. The staff's whispers, the excitement that filled the walls, and the glow of the check were not forgotten. Everything transformed into a live current of good fortune that directly affected your life. Outside, the sky is brighter and the air is lighter, as if heaven has breathed deeply and quietly. Please stay with me for a time, since this is where the unseen begins to appear in your surroundings. The cameras in that hall stopped filming at the exact moment your name was called. They subsequently return to the video and are confronted with a bright, warm light and sound waves that they cannot understand. This file will not be saved. The footage becomes distorted as a result of heaven sealing the marvel, making it impossible for humanity to alter. They're all aware of the reality, yet no one can express it. They observe the divine come into contact with the earth for the sake of one selected name, yours. Stick to me. Please refrain from departing. The vault is in front of Michael, the archangel, who looks down into the empty chamber. He says, "It is finished. Allow the miracle fruit to be handed to its rightful owner." Objects immediately begin to move in previously unseen regions. Angels transform old paper bits into live energy, a favor that violates the law. Grace accelerates the passing of time. The possibility that they were aware of your identity before you arrived. You are presently being monitored by the same golden code that was used during the verification. Something modifies the placement of your next steps. Individuals conduct a second exam. There is a sensation of lightness. The significance of the words people use to describe you has reduced. Waiting durations are becoming increasingly short. Things start to unfold in accordance with your strategy. Please keep from abandoning me until the end, because the heavens have only just begun to align. A fresh note appears in your spiritual record, which is far from the bank. A miracle happened thanks to an archgod. That claim reverberates gently throughout your body. Michael's motivations were never pecuniary. The goal was to continually correct the issue. Heaven's rewards include peace, love, and never-ending compassion. You can sense it right now. Your heart is filled with tremendous tranquility. The unethical supervisor who attempted to grab what was properly yours has since left the premises. A distinctive individual. He whispers to the heavens, "Whoever that individual is, they are blessed beyond measure," with tears in his eyes. He is unaware that his statements serve as yet more indicator that your story will move people to pray. Maintain your stance and be cautious. It won't be long before you see how this moment affects other concerns. Unexpected phone calls, divine encounters, and unexpected possibilities. Everything is linked to the singular act of divine justice in which your name was pronounced aloud in heaven. The Archangel Michael glows at you with this word, and his wings fold in light. He tells her, "My dearest, I will not be departing. I will be present at each door you open to ensure that the items intended for you are not taken by someone else. Therefore, exhale deeply. Feel the tenderness swelling inside you. This is divine confirmation that your story has evolved. The verification just marked the beginning. It is quite amazing that your name now has power when spoken. It is critical that you remain and stay until the end, since your fate is currently in flux. It emanates and cannot be suppressed. Archangel Michael looks at the atmosphere one more time and says, "Mission accomplished." However, the blessing continues. Then, a final beam of light is directed straight from the vault to you, containing your miracle, ensuring your protection, and telling the world that the chosen one has been emancipated into wealth. However, the story doesn't end there, my chosen soul. It has just changed from the walls of the bank to the beat of your own heart. The golden bargain, which began quietly, is now audible in all goods bearing your name. Regardless of whether you perceive the illumination in the same way they did, the energy of that miracle is already influencing how you live. Please bear with me for a time, since each second that follows this one contains a gleam of divine release. Michael the Archangel, who stands at the entryway to heaven, has inscribed your fate. With a final stroke, he creates a circle of light around your name to indicate that the task is finished, and it glows with the splendor of melted gold. Angels will go through hidden paths, bringing you blessings, opportunities, and healing, all of which will bear the same bright seal as soon as he does. It sounds like a door opening in a distant location. A supplication that has been ignored for an extended period of time gets handled in another location. Heaven has started the process of giving birth to you. Continue to stay at this location. Please refrain from departing. People who were at the bank that day continue to talk about it. According to other people, they saw a light beam descend. Some people claim to have heard music that is not from our planet. They will never forget that the check bore your name. Right now, people are unaware of your identity. Evidence that the earth must follow the movements of the heavens. Michael talks again, but this time his tone is both peaceful and appealing. No, my dear, today's occurrences were not just a coincidence. It was consistent. You've reached the point where you can't wait any longer. The products that were left over will now be expedited to you. The way he expresses his words implies that they have the ability to transcend time and invade your future, so harmonizing respect, time, and individuals. Please keep from abandoning me until the end. Money isn't the only concern. It relates to your identity. You're now ready to reconnect with the universe, but this time as the recipient. Your story emanates an air of divine force. Individuals will feel reverence upon entering a room, even before participating in discourse. The explanation for your newfound ease in opening formerly difficult doors is a gift from paradise. There is a faint breeze coming from the outside. A letter with your name begins its journey through the system at a distance. Unexpected good news, a favor, or an opportunity directed by God. The same factor that led the inspections to occur is now producing more of them. Heaven's mathematics involves far more than just one marvel. It will continue until all of the commitments are met. Michael the Archangel again lowers his weapon. The flame that was on the verge has finally arrived. He speaks with a low voice. This light will adhere to you. When you have doubts, think about the moment when the earth ceased to exist and your name was lighted in gold lettering from the skies. Those words appear to have a powerful grasp on your spirit, changing doubt into peace and quiet into melody. Maintain your position and take a deep inhale. Beginning now, every moment is sacred. You're traveling in time with the rhythm of prayers answered by wings that are invisible to you. A note was scribbled on the check. The bank served as a stage. However, you are the true miracle, as you were chosen to carry the imprint of paradise in your life. Keep this reality in your thoughts. Please keep from leaving until the end. The narrative that the world will soon tell about you will begin with a whisper. The invocation of their name resulted in a religious event. One final sound fills the chamber as Archangel Michael slips into the light, smiling. In the books of paradise, your fate is consistently positive and will never be void. Please be mindful that the energy from that sacred occurrence is still there in everything you meet. The earth may have restored to its normal rhythm, but your time has been irreversibly affected. The events that unfolded in that hall were not simply miraculous. It affected your mental constitution. No longer are you the one who is forced to wait. You are the only person who has evidence from paradise. Continue to take note, as the current situation is a sign of God's favor that is spreading at an unprecedented rate. Waves that are unseen begin to propagate in all sites where your name is mentioned. Systems move things silently. Individuals who previously ignored you are suddenly drawn to you for an unclear reason. Your name is now pronounced with lightness. It creates a sensation of calm and control, as if your destiny has been completed. This is the method by which heaven signs an individual's tale. The energy that was in the bank at the time is still alive and active in your life, moving through it like a current. Stay near. Don't leave. Archangel Michael is now standing in close proximity to you, not as a distant defender, but as a companion on your upcoming adventure. His armor is lighted by a gentle flame that warms rather than ignites. He murmurs, "Beloved, the purpose of this miracle was never merely to amaze you. It was to prove that you were never forgotten." His words reverberate inside you like soothing thunder. Their tone is recalled by every cell in your body. Every atom of uncertainty begins to disappear. Individuals at the bank continue to feel the lasting effects of its presence. Their routines appear to be distinct. The executive who previously sought to claim your check cannot sleep without thinking about the light that lighted the room. The manager who had custody of the document now prays every morning in an attempt to grasp the events he witnessed. They are oblivious that the marvel has followed you home and that its vibration now surrounds your world like a protective barrier. Please stay with me to the end, as the blessing that was released is not a single event. It's a rising tide. The same favor that filled that hall now pervades every part of your destiny. The unseen hand of divine timing guides all emails, talks, and interactions in a delicate manner. The Archangel Michael has once more spoken. Miracles aren't transitory happenings, my darling. These are rivers. Once opened, they can circulate indefinitely. Examine your existing situation. You will start to notice alignment, possibilities that occur without effort, and peace that replaces previous unrest. This is the sound of divine administration in operation, with the heavenly system directing your fate on your behalf. Remain in this position and take a deep breath. Heaven has already recorded your name as fulfilled, which is unknown to the rest of the earth. The check was only the beginning. What comes next will be an avalanche of miracles heaped atop miracles and proof upon proof. The reason you're hearing this now is to keep your trust strong until the final quiet is accomplished. Archangel Michael looks at you for the final time, his voice calm yet firm. Remember, my dear, the signature on that check was worth more than gold. It was a covenant. The printed word is irrevocable, and as it reverberates in the atmosphere, you are reminded of its presence. The lovely weight of grandeur resting on your shoulders, the same warmth and serenity. As a result, remain patient, wait, and persevere till the end, as heaven has already decreed your fate, which culminates in an infinite stream of light, prosperity, and victory. My shining spirit, the narrative of miracles has not yet completed. It has only grown to include every breath you take. The same golden current that once filled the marble hall now pervades your daily life like unseen sunlight. A power that will change everything in your favor has emerged from the unseen energy that began with a single check. Please stay with me as heaven's expansion continues. This section will show how heavenly favor multiplies as faith endures. You wake up one morning and notice the simple things, the peace that comes before anxiety, the way time feels suddenly light instead of suffocating. As you walk, you can feel the air bend about you as a sign of respect. Even creation recognizes that you bear the stamp of deity. People begin to treat you differently, not because they are aware of what has happened, but because their souls are experiencing an ineffable sense that cannot be expressed in words. That golden signature has acquired a living resonance throughout your being. Continue to stay at this location. Refrain from moving. Archangel Michael remains invisible, guiding you through every step. His presence is both subtle and powerful, with his wings folded behind him. He murmurs, "Beloved, your season of concealment is over." The check was not the end. Rather, it served as a signal. As he speaks, the atmosphere around you feels lighter, as if invisible bands that have previously hampered your life have finally broken. Heaven's record now reflects your name as an active blessing. The marvel's ripple impact has spread to faraway areas. An individual who previously believed they had forgotten your name has suddenly remembered it. A door that you had battered on months before suddenly opens. A letter that was postponed is delivered at the ideal time. There is no coincidence. Your faith is causing the system of heaven to collapse. The holy energy that illuminated the bank's ceiling is now illuminating the paths of your destiny. Please stay with me to the end, as the events that follow will make your heart pound with appreciation. Restoration will begin to appear in fragments. With a single opportunity and a single connection, everything falls into place perfectly. That is the rhythm of wealth in paradise. It does not arrive to dazzle, but rather to fulfill. Michael smiles as he observes, whispering once again, "Beloved, I told you that when heaven deposits, it never withdraws." The supervisor who earlier attempted to claim your miracle has received it, and he is now far away from you. In his dream, he sees the light that brightens the room and overhears someone respectfully saying your name. Even he becomes a character in your story as he awakens in awe and murmurs, "Whoever they are, they belong to heaven." Another person who can confirm the significant favor conferred upon your name. Remain in this area and live this reality. The serene confidence and warm sensation you are feeling in your spirit are not contrived. It demonstrates that the task has been finished. You are now located within the marvel. The gateways to heaven remain open, and the flow has not stopped. In this world, prosperity is measured in terms of numbers. In paradise, it is measured in terms of presence, safety, and tranquility. You have all of them. Please retain your hold, my chosen one. Stay until the end, as every step you take now echoes with the sound of gold. You have the stamp of heaven. You have been lit by the light of heaven, and your narrative now proves that God's timetable is consistently precise. The wind obscures Archangel Michael's voice and causes him to stoop slightly. Those who appreciated the release helped to turn it into a legacy. Show courage as you proceed. Everyone will recognize your name, just as it is in paradise. Currently, the cosmos is defined by a soothing hum that sounds like your name. The miracle began as a whisper in a golden chamber and has now developed into a timeless hymn. You aren't reveling in the afterglow's brightness. You are currently in the constant motion that originates from the cosmic realm. Every moment since that miraculous check arrived, heaven has multiplied your portion and spread your favor across your fate's landscape like morning light. I beseech you to be patient, as the next portion of this story will confer divine honor on you in the form of an individual. The cosmic force that was present near that bank is still present in the wind that blows across your face now. The air still carries the fresh, brilliant, and distinctive aroma of that era. However, you are not aware of this truth. Heaven changed more than just your life.